Good day to all. Welcome to Extreme Recap. Danny Rourke, a detective from the Austin Police Department who is currently attending a therapy session, is shown to us in the opening scene. Throughout the session he thinks back on the traumatic incident when his 7-year-old daughter Minnie was taken away, which eventually led to the breakup of his marriage. It is revealed that he was watching his daughter play in a park when he became briefly distracted. If only he didn't like pinwheels so much. She turned around to find that Minnie had vanished when she did. The abductor was apprehended, but he was not charged because his mental health was deemed unstable. Danny is picked up by Nix, a coworker, after the therapy session. Nix tells Danny that they received an anonymous tip about a planned bank heist involving a specific safe deposit box. Next asserts that the most recent string of bank robberies involved the same financial institution but had different branches. However, the peculiar aspect of this robbery is that focusing on a safe deposit box without any money in it. Upon their arrival outside the bank, it may have pinwheels. In order to keep an eye on people both inside and outside the building, Danny and Nix enter a police van. Lev Delaraine, a mysterious individual, is observed by them while they are on stakeout. Who seems to be able to effortlessly hypnotize people. When he hypnotizes a woman and makes her feel so hot that she takes off her shirt on the street, the power is shown. Additionally, hypnotists are said to be geeks. Delaware then hypnotizes bank workers and even police officers into obeying his orders. He quickly exits the van and enters the bank pretending to open a bank account as soon as he senses something is wrong. He quickly enters the room with the deposit boxes and opens the targeted safe. He finds the message "you" and a picture of Minnie to his surprise. Look left. It bears the name Delaraine. I can already tell that this movie will end in a bad way. Delaraine, on the other hand, is waiting in line at the counter when the bank security guards suddenly break into chaos. He also hypnotizes a bank employee, who goes into the safety deposit room to get the box he wants. Danny, who is already in the room, points his gun at the worker and orders her to freeze. However, she continues her search for the desired box despite his directive. Additionally, the hypnotized guards enter the room and shoot Danny, rendering him unconscious. Fortunately, however, he is protected from harm by his bulletproof vest. Following this incident, the employee and the security guard board van and leave the bank with the intention of fleeing. The woman who had earlier experienced intense heat stands in the middle of the road simultaneously. This causes a number of accidents, one of which involved the security guard van and the bank employee. Delaraine then plants a timed bomb just before making his escape and retrieves the safety deposit box from the deceased bank employee. Danny delays and pursues him, accompanied by 2 of his junior spots. Delaraine suddenly uses his hypnotic abilities to get the 2 detectives to fire their weapons at each other as they approach the rooftop where they had cornered him. Danny seems to be very upset about this. Delaware then jumps off the structure, quickly evaporating from sight. Danny is informed by Nix when he arrives at the scene after the chaos has subsided that all of the witnesses are hypnotized and have no recollection of the events. Danny starts his own investigation because he is certain that the heist has something to do with his daughter's disappearance. Nix gets in touch with him that same night and tells him about the trace results from the previous tip-off call. No time at all. Danny finds his way to the designated location. Therapy center run by Diana Cruz, a fortune teller. He explains to her the reason behind his visit. Additionally, they begin a conversation. However, whenever Danny uses the name Delaraine, she orders him to leave immediately as she becomes terrified. Delaraine lurks outside the facility, unbeknownst to them. He hypnotizes a biker by sneaking up behind him and getting him to ride a motorcycle. The man declares, delaying will not stop before committing the unthinkable, through Diana's window. Danny takes Diana into protective custody following the incident and proceeds to question her in an odd and unconvincing manner. The latter reveals that Delaraine made use of his supernatural abilities in both the bank heist and the most recent incident. She explains that Delaraine is a hypnotist who can use a psychic bandwidth to control and manipulate people's minds. She responds that she is also a hypnotist when Danny asks how she knows so much about them. Diana claims so. She and Delaraine were both trained in a secret government division that used hypnosis to control people's minds. Delaraine, on the other hand, eventually turned to evil and became the most powerful disciple. The street magician's version of Star Wars. Ben Affleck has also left. Now, Delaraine wants to take control of the entire nation. Hearing everything, Nix, who is also present, just chuckles as if he were a good person to represent the audience. He asserts that she is making fun of him and denies everything she says. Diana responds by hypnotizing Nix, forcing him to get some fresh air. She then reveals that Danny is highly resistant to mind control, possibly due to his severe depression at the moment. Diana is aware of this because she previously attempted to hypnotize him but was unsuccessful. Delaraine, on the other hand, shows up outside the police station and hypnotizes him around the neck. The poor man is then instructed to attack France. Diana quickly realizes that Nix is having a problem as soon as he enters the investigation room. As a result, she suggests that they flee. She asserts that Nix will not regain consciousness until he completes the task that has been given to him. Notwithstanding Diana's recommendation, Danny attempts to stop his companion and even binds him. Nix, on the other hand, persists in his futile attempts to grab his weapon. When things get out of hand, Diana grabs Nix's gun and shoots him in the head, killing him right away despite the pain caused by the handcuffs. Fortunately, Danny is a sociopath, and this does not appear to have any effect on him. Television broadcasts quickly spread the news that Nixon died too soon. Additionally, Danny and Diana are depicted as the culprits with no other options. Diana suggests that they go to Mexico because she knows someone who can stop D'Artagnan. Danny is hesitant about the concept, but he can't help but agree. The couple is seen at a nearby coffee shop in the subsequent scene. Sheriff, the winner, joins. He recognizes them right away. Diana is able to hypnotize him, however, before he can react. Diana is frightened when D'Artagnan makes contact with her through the sheriff's walkie-talkie at the same time. The protagonists try to get away. But Bahrain arrives immediately with two hypnotized police officers, just when it seems as though are about to be caught. They are saved later when the earlier hypnotized sheriff arrives just in time. Diana tells Danny on their way to Mexico that Danny has a psychic block that makes it harder for hypnotists to control him, probably because Danny's ass is so depressed. Del Rey is the only person who can get past this obstacle. They come across a police patrol as the two make their way toward Mexico City. However, Diana skillfully navigates around them using her abilities. They eventually arrive at their destination. Diana has been friends with Jeremiah since they worked together in the division. As they talk, Jeremiah tells Diana that Del Rey is looking for Domino, a powerful weapon made by the division that can control any hypnotist in the world. It turns out that the Domino project was broken up into several pieces and kept in safes at a number of different banks. As indicated by Jeremiah, the Feldman tracks down every one of its pieces. He will never be stopped. In this movie, he then asks for many people's pictures, which Danny had previously obtained from the bank. Diana is suspicious of this, and when Jeremiah transforms into Del Rey, it turns out that he was using his abilities to transform into a completely different person. Danny and Diana quickly leave the scene, and Del leads the chase through an intricately designed hypnotic environment. The pursuit also involves a large number of officers and unrelated citizens. Shortly thereafter, Danny taps into his own reserve of hypnotic power just as our protagonists are about to be captured and takes control of the police officers, directing them to capture Del Rey. Instead, all he could think about was the rainman and the pinwheels. Danny is perplexed and unable to comprehend what he just did after the danger is avoided. Diana is also perplexed, so she suggests that they seek assistance from formerly her division friend and secret hacker. They later make their way to his hideout, where they tell him about their predicament. River agrees to assist them and employs his hacking skills to thoroughly examine Danny's data. He makes a startling discovery, shockingly. Vivian, the wife of Danny, is, in fact, a part of the same hypnosis department as Diana. While the three of them are talking, Danny gets a call from Del Rey, who tries to hypnotize him over the phone and tells him to kill Diana. Danny, on the other hand, is able to somehow resist the hypnotic influence and simply hangs up on his ass. Later, when Diana and River are still asleep, Danny personally investigates the database and discovers shocking information. Minnie, his daughter, is actually Domino, the lethal weapon, and Diana is his wife Vivian. What did I say about the unexpected turns in this? His surroundings begin to unravel, demonstrating that the previous events were nothing more than hypnotic illusions. At this point, Diana walks out and reminds him that he was the one who took their daughter away, motivated by the desire to shield her from the allure of hypnotic realms. It becomes clear that Dee was under hypnosis throughout his entire journey. Danny wakes up shortly thereafter in a large room with division agents, including Nix and Del Rey, whom he sees throughout the constructed story. Danny runs away from the location out of fear, only to discover the items and props used to create the illusion of reality, realizing that these were just hypothetical situations. Danny's memories are shown to have been erased, so he has no memory of where Minnie is. Therefore, in an effort to rekindle his memories in the future, the division had subjected him to these fabricated experiences. Danny has gone through the same hypnotic process once more, reliving the therapy session and the bank robbery. Everything goes off without a hitch, just like before, reflecting the film's opening scene. However, Danny's approach to he enters the bank and uses his own power to break free of the hypnotic spell and escape the division's grasp. This very moment, Diana and Del Rey both came to the realization that the phrase, "find left Del Rey," in the photo does not refer to a person but rather to Deer Valley Lane, which turns out to be the ranch where many of Danny's foster parents have been hiding for the past 3 years. Holy feces. Danny arrives at his parents' house after driving for some time and has a touching reunion with his now grown daughter. However, for many, their joyous time is short-lived as dullness reigns. Additionally, members of his team arrive with weapons. They brutally kill Danny's parents right away by shooting them. Diana is overcome with emotion as she sees her daughter for the first time in a very long time as Danny and Minnie leave the house in the following scene. The division surrounds the ranch in the meantime, but many use her to their advantage. Abilities to hypnotize them into killing each other. Del Rey is then forced to do the unthinkable by her Minnie, the poof distributing the scrumptious honey. Finally, it becomes clear that Danny and Diana used to be the division's most powerful members. They found out one day that their daughter had inherited even more strength than they had. When the division discovered this, they came up with a strategy to make use of her as a powerful weapon. However, Danny and Diana strongly disagreed with this idea. Instead, they decided to protect their daughter by intentionally erasing their own memories and hiding her in the home of Danny's foster parents. Many people believed that Danny's photograph, which he found in the safety deposit box and used as a reminder of his daughter's whereabouts, was his own creation, so that one day he could look for her, thereby defeating the entire purpose of the plan and bringing his foster parents back into the present with a lot of help for her mother's memory. It is uncovered that Danny and Diana quietly stood by more than. With their ultimate goal now accomplished, the family reunites and decides to live happily ever after. It took many 3 years for her to fully develop her powers to the point where she could defeat the entire division on her own. However, Del Rey appears to have cleverly disguised himself as Danny's foster father in a surprising final scene, which reveals how he survived the earlier shootout. Turn on notifications. Please subscribe for more videos like this, and like the channel to support it. Thank you very much for watching.